there. So again, just to reiterate, that is suggesting that at $58,000 purchase price for the investor, if you're wholesaling, plus the cost that they have to buy it and hang on to it and pay the light bill while they're fixing it up, plus the actual rehab, is at 70% of what they can sell it for at $231,000. And that means that they would have a profit. If you look down in the green sections here, that person would have a profit of over $50,000 and certain returns on investment on number 30 and 31 here. So we'll cover those again in more detail. But this is a number that an investor would hopefully comfortably pay for this property, put this work into it, and still make some money in the end. If you are wholesaling, I want you to pay attention here too. This is something very important. What this figure means is what the investor can buy your contract from you for. So what that $58,000 needs to have is your wholesale fee, your assignment fee, already included in that price. So if you figured out that an investor could safely pay $58,000 to you, and you want to make $5,000 for your assignment fee, then the max offer that you can offer to a seller of a property would be $53,000. And that's why I took $5,000 out of the 58. And that way, when the deal is done, there's that $5,000 left for you. If you market this property at $58,000 and then pay the seller $58,000 for the contract, there's nothing there for you as a wholesaler. So definitely make sure that whenever you're calculating these numbers, you have that in the back of your mind and you're considering that. And I'm going to, again, take a quick look at your questions and make sure that nobody has any questions about that, because I definitely want that to be clear. James, I'm looking at your question. If you remove an item, will it show up later when you need it again? I don't. Okay. I hope I'm following your question here. Let me go back into the system. If I assume you're talking about on, let's say, holding costs or closing costs, if you're doing a detailed input, if I take one of these items out, yes, we're not going to delete it on other deals or anything like that. So you could always add it back in on this property, but it should show up on the other properties as well. And James, when you hit calculate on that ARV, I assume you're saying, yes, it's basing it on the square footage of the property based on what we entered it as. So if you don't have a square footage in there, I think that button will be disabled. Certainly won't calculate it correctly. So definitely make sure you have the right square footage on your property information, the first step that we covered. And Daryl, on these screens, there's not a specific field for your assignment fee. That's why it's kind of implied to be included in that purchase price. And the reason why is the information that you're seeing here in just a minute. Actually, is probably the next step we're going to show you is how to create an awesome presentation that will let you find buyers for your property that you have under contract if you're wholesaling. And you're not advertising that fee. And so that's why these numbers are here presented the way they are. So it's not really hidden. If we get to it a little bit later, we do have a quick offer calculator where you can put that in there, but that's more of an internal just analysis for you. It doesn't create any reports or presentations automatically, and it'll help you calculate stuff. But on these fields, there's not a specific data point for that. All right, Sherry, just to answer your question about the ARV calculation of 70%. You're correct. Yeah, 58,000 is not anywhere near 70% of 231,000. But if you add up 58,000 plus the $100,000, and I'm going to put my closing costs back in there correctly. If you add up the $58,000 plus the closing and holding cost and the $100,000 of the actual rehab budget, that comes up to around $161,000, which you see here. That's the total capital needed for this. Just quickly added those up, and if you take that 161 and divide it by the 231,000, that's going to give you the 70%. So the 70% rule is everything it takes to buy the property plus to fix it up and get it worth what that after repair value is. That's what you want to be at around 70%, assuming that's the going rate. Like I say, that is market specific, so please learn that for your area, whether you're working in your local area or if you're working virtually outside your area. Try to learn it for wherever you're working. Hope that answered your question. And Bjorn, yes, I'll go over that assignment fee again, just to make sure that that's exactly why I asked this. I got sidetracked with another couple of questions, but that is absolutely why I want to make sure that that's crystal clear. So, looking at this property again, $58,000 is the correct purchase price we came up with, but that's in the eyes of the buyer of the contract, the person who's actually going to take this property, put the money in the time into fixing it up, and then make the big profit at the end. So if you're wholesaling, that $58,000 is what you want to sell your contract for. And so hopefully you're going to buy the contract or get the contract from the seller of the property in its current condition for some amount of money less than that. Whether you're looking for $5,000 or $10,000 or whatever specific fee you're looking for, you want to remove that from this purchase price so that you can figure out what your max offer will be to your seller. I hope I said that in a slightly different and maybe even a little bit more clear of a way. And Linda, last question I'll take before I jump into reports, show you how to get this property sold, is the projected cost of sale. Let me cover that a little bit more. So that's back over here on the right-hand side. So that's on this flip exit tab. And again, the flip tab is assuming that whoever's taking ownership of this property is going to fix it, sell it after it's fixed up for this $53,000 profit. So they're going to sell it for projected resale price of $231,069. And number 28, the projected cost of sale is a percentage of that, and that is what it's going to take to sell this, after it's been fixed up. And to kind of further answer your question, yes, it's any percentage that you put in there. We default it to 7 because often people do pay a real estate commission. You might have to have an attorney, do the paperwork for you and make sure everything's ducks are in a row and everything's crossed and dotted. You may, like I say, it's kind of market specific on who's responsible for stuff. So if you have recording fees with your city or county, you can include that. If there's any inspections, whatever it may be, any kind of cost of sale there, what it's going to take out of the pocket of the investor to get that property sold. The reason we defaulted to 7 is you're thinking about real estate commissions and a little bit of percentage of closing cost. That's where we get that average number, but that can be different for markets. If you've done 100 deals with the real estate agent, you might get a break on real estate commission, so that number could go down. You might be a real estate agent yourself and not charging it, so you can take it way down. You may be selling the property on your own without a real estate agent, and maybe that cost will be much lower. So it's very, very specific to your situation. We just put 7 there as an average. All right, I don't see anything else pressing in the questions, so I'm going to jump right into reports. This